Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Chris Corso, he's a regular on The Price of Business with the Corso Law Group, and we're always delighted to have him on the show. And it always brings a really timely topic, very newsworthy topic that has very practical applications when it comes to the law and really civil liberties often. And I would say that's kind of your expertise when it comes to the law. Chris, kind of tell people about your practice and also make sure you include your website in your introduction.
Yeah, Kevin, thank you, and it's always great to be here. We're CorsoLawGroup.com, and we're a criminal practice out of Houston. We're also in Arizona, and, we represent clients for criminal matters from DWI, which we're going to talk about today, all the way up through felony. And, we take an approach that, we try to represent the person, not just the client and the family as well, and try to understand what's happening and why, and try to fix it all around, just not just the case. But and that is protecting their rights and their liberties as well. It's near and dear to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got practices in both Arizona and in Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
Very good. Talk a little bit about our topic today, which I think is a very timely one, especially in light of what, the fact we had a major sports event that took place earlier this week, and a lot of excitement, and invariably, alcohol showing up at sporting events is almost instantly dangerous, but it's inevitably going to happen. You take away the alcohol, you might as well not have the sporting event.
You're right, exactly. Well, yeah, we're talking about DWIs as it relates to, the connection to the sporting event, and yeah, you're right. In this case, you had the Final Four a couple of nights ago, in Houston, and, talking about, there was probably over 70,000, visiting fans, and going to attend the tournament and events surrounding the tournament, and a lot of them surround drinking. And it used to be, Kevin, that in college sports you weren't able to get a beer or a drink or anything like that. Well, it's changed now, and so that's what we're going to be talking about here is these DWIs that are happening based on the amount of people that are there and what they're consuming.
Okay, very good. So kind of give us some background. You gave me some startling statistics and before the show, which I found shocking.
Yeah, I mean, you have 40% of the people that are going to have alcohol in their system that went to this event, for example. And so basically, at 60,000 people, you got 5,000 of them walking away intoxicated. And probably more, and that's of a higher level, but probably more of them are legally intoxicated, which doesn't really take a lot. So, that's a staggering number, for that.
Oh my God, it is.
Percentage. Yeah, and it just creates a lot of dangerous situations. And the thing about these events, especially this one that just happened, you're talking about young kids now. A lot of the fan base is in the college kids. I mean, they're able to drink, but they tend to get away from them. And we were talking just before the segment about some of the smaller riots in Philadelphia after Villanova's win. So, this is the numbers. These are the numbers, and this is what's happening out there. So, the law enforcement's really stepping up to want to grab all the DWIs they can possibly get in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's certainly certainly the one area that law enforcement has always really consistently focused on, at least since the 1970s, it seems to me, is the continuous crackdown on the DWI.
Yeah, and in Texas, I mean, the other stat I want to tell you too is this was the thing that really struck me is when they went around and they were polling tailgaters, okay, out in the parking lot, and the average person was having 5 to 6 drinks apiece. So that's a number that's it only takes typically maybe 2 to 3 per person, to get yourself above the limit. So you're talking quite a bit, double. And, law enforcement, they're looking at the numbers from MAD about Texas leading the nation with 1,300 deaths caused by, in 2013 anyway, caused by drunk driving. So law enforcement is taking those numbers, and they're going to the wall with these no refusals, and they're trying to get warrants for the blood now when you're pulled over and you're taken in to the station or to a hospital, and they want to draw your blood. If you refuse, they'll call a judge on call, and they'll get your blood anyway. So they're taking it real serious, and a lot of people out there just don't realize how bad it can be and tip their life upside down.
Yeah, no question about it. It's a dangerous game in more ways than one, because lives are at risk when people make the bad choice to drive drunk.
Yeah, they are. But, Kevin, the thing is, people's rights have to be protected also. This is, and you hate to say it and you hate to do it, but, I see this every day. It's also a revenue stream for the state, for the municipalities and things like that. And they see it, the government sees it as an opportunity, to try to draw some revenue. And it's kind of disgusting when you think of it in those terms, but, they try to protect the people and protect the roads, but, people's rights have got to be protected here. And on top of it, when you have this many people out there and these many DWI investigations, they're drawing from a lot of different kind of officers that maybe would not be doing this normally, to try to bring some extra help on. And when you do that, you have real shoddy investigation happening. It spreads right down, It
becomes amateur hour at some point.
It really does. Yeah, and then that's where people like me come in and have to dissect it. So while you want everyone to be safe, you also want people's rights protected as well.
Absolutely, no question about it. The rush to judgment in our culture and the emphasis on abandoning civil liberties, to me, is I'm telling you, you and I have had many conversations about it since you've been with us, and to me, it's probably the single biggest political crisis our country is facing is the abandonment of our civil liberties. And some like their guns, and some like their religious freedoms, but that Fourth Amendment and that Fifth Amendment are pretty darn important too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how many cases I've had where people are requesting attorneys and things like that, and they're just not the attention to it. And it's difficult to prove. It's difficult to show that because not a lot of officers are using, cameras anymore or dash cams or body cameras. Those are becoming popular. But so it's tough to tell whether or not the liberties have been violated because it pains you to say, but there are things put in the report that paint the government in the best light. And always it's the author of the report. And they're not going to put out there that they violated anybody's liberties. People are asking for a lawyer, and every questioning, everything's supposed to stop at that point, and sometimes it doesn't. And so, those two, and we talked about, exercising your Fifth Amendment right, and everybody's questioning that now too. So it's out there, and they're taking quite advantage, and we need to step it up as everybody does. People, we need to step up and realize what we have and what we need to protect, and it needs to matter.
Yes, absolutely. Corso Law Group, and that's the website, right? CorsoLawGroup.com.
Yes, Kevin. Yep, CorsoLawGroup.com. We have a lot of good information about DWI, especially. Take a read, take a look at, and educate yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Corso, regular contributor. Final thoughts on some do's and not to do's when it comes to this?
Well, look, I mean, everybody knows, hey, don't drink, don't get behind the wheel. I mean, that's the obvious thing. But, sometimes we find ourselves in situations where it happens. You're a cookout, you're at a small sporting event, things like that. Just be responsible, use your head. Everybody knows what the best thing to do for yourself is. And, have somebody like me, have the number on hand, have a little card, a little do's and don'ts of what to do when you get pulled over, what not to do. And that always helps too, and we're always available. So those are the things you really should be doing, a lot of the obvious.
Yep, makes sense. All right, Chris Corso, learn more about him, Corso Law Group. I'm Kevin Price. You are listening to The Price of Business. We'll have more for you right after this.